So yesterday we learned these things, right? Basic methods, naming methods, and daemon thread and the priority based. So everyone has understand, no? Anyone have any doubt in this? In that we learn these things, no? Run, start, current thread is alive. What is the use of current thread? It will return the current instance of the thread, right? Another one is the get time and set time. Why we use this one?
We can get the name of the thread.
Yes, we can get set and get the name of the thread, right? After that, use daemon and set daemon means what is
Providing services to
services to the another thread. And what is the use of each daemon?
it will return true and false.
It will return true and false only. Is our if our thread is daemon, that time what it will return? True, right? Otherwise it will return false. And another one is the get priority and set priority. So what is the priority?
Return the default.
JVM will allocate the processor to
Means
based
based on the priority, it will allocate the processor, right? So this type of methods, first method is the basic methods. After that we have a naming methods, and after that daemon thread method, and after that we have a priority based method. Today we will learn the new methods, that is the this one, right? This is the prevent thread execution method, sleep, yield, join. Okay, and this method also we will learn, that is the interrupt, is interrupt and interrupted. Prevent thread execution method means what it will do. So suppose our thread is working. Okay, our thread is execution, thread is in execution state. Suppose we want to stop this thread for particular amount of time. That time we will use this method, that is the sleep method, yield method, and the join method. These three are means same only, but little bit difference between three of them. Okay, first we will learn the sleep method. What is the sleep method? So sleep method, thread dot sleep. Okay, so the method sleep is being used to halt the working of a thread for given amount of time. Means while using the thread dot sleep method, what we will do, we will provide some time. For that amount of time, the thread will be in sleeping position. Okay, means sleep position means that thread will become into the non-runnable state. Okay, after completing that time, it again come to the runnable state, and after that it will come to the running state again. Okay, it will provide some time. After that, that time slice of time will over, this thread will be come into the again execution. Okay, then the time up to which the thread remain in the sleeping state is known as the sleeping type of thread. This is only. And if you see the syntax, public, static, native, void, and the long millisecond, and it is throwing the interrupted exception also. So static and native. Okay, what is meant by native?
Native is some other programming
Yes,
language.
implementation is written in the another language, not in the Java. Okay, and the static method. It is the static method means we can directly use with the, how we will call the static method, by using class name, or directly also we can use, right? So here what we will do, with the help of thread class, we directly call this method as the sleep method. So and here we will provide the millisecond. Here 1000 millisecond means 1 second, right? 1000 millisecond means 1 second we can provide. Now we will take one example here. Okay, suppose I'm writing here one thread. Okay, here I have extended the thread. After that, what is the next step? What is the next step to create a thread?
Overrated.
One minute. After that, what we need to do? Public void. Then what we need to do here? Task. We will do after. And here we have to create a main method. Inside that we have to create an object. New. And with the help of object, what we need to do? Stop. Okay. So what I am doing now, here, suppose I am writing here the for loop. Int I equals to 0, I less than 3, and I plus plus. Similarly, I am printing here. So what it will do? I will write here I equals to 3. What it will do?
That one.
0, 1, 1, 2, 3. Right? 0, 1, 2, 3, it will print. Now, if I want to print, we can print this one. 0, 1, 2, 3 are printing. Now, I want that this first 0 will be print. After 2 seconds, 1 will be print. After 2 seconds, 3 will be print. Means we want to stop the execution of the thread for the 2 seconds. Okay, we want to stop the execution of the thread for the 2 seconds. For that, what we will do? Simply, we will use the sleep method. What we will use? We will use the sleep method. So how we will use? See here, which type of method is this? That is the static method, static and native, right? So simply what we will do with the help of class, which class, in which class it is present? In the thread class, right? So simply we will write thread dot sleep, and we will provide some millisecond in that. Simply we will come and thread dot sleep, and here we will provide the millisecond. I want to stop for the 2 seconds, so how we will provide? 2000, right? Here we will provide the millisecond. So 2000 means 2000 millisecond means 2 seconds. Here it is giving the error. Why? See the syntax. Interrupted again, right? It is showing, it is throwing the interrupted exception. We learn that, right? If it is throwing the exception, we have to handle that. This method is not handling. But if you want to use this method, first we need to handle that exception. After that we can use. How we will handle that exception? Here, try catch block, right? Simply I will cut this one. Here I am writing try. Inside that we will write this one. Maybe in this line exception will occur. So which is this code? Risky code, right? After that we will write simply cat. We can write exception, that is the parent class also, or otherwise what we will write? It is throwing the interrupted. Simply we will print the message e dot print. Okay, now it is done. If I run this one now, what will be happen?
The value will be printed in 2 seconds. Wait.
After 2 seconds, it will value will be printed. It will take 2 seconds. 0 is printed after 2 seconds, 1, then 2. Like that it is printing, right? After 2 seconds, it is printing. So how it is happened? First here, one thread is present. This thread is working here. Main thread, right? Here, one thread is present. That is the main thread which is executing all the tasks inside the main method. After that, we have created the thread. This one. In this line, thread is creating, right? After that, what is the name of this thread? Thread 0. After that, we have started this thread. Which method it will execute? Run method. Here it is came, right? After that, this thread is executing all the tasks. So it is coming here inside the for loop. If this condition is true, it is coming inside. After that, thread dot sleep. Here it's a thread dot sleep means thread is goes to the sleeping state for the 2 seconds. After that, it is printing value of I. What is the first value of I? 0. Means after 2 seconds, it is printing first value, that is the 0. Right? Any exception occur?
Cat block is handled.
Catch block will print or not? No.
No.
Right now it will not print.
It will not print. No. Exception is not occurred here. That's why it is not print here. It will come again. It will check the condition. Now what is the new value? It is the increment first, and after that it will check the condition. 1 is less than equal to 3. Condition true or false? True. Right. So it will come here again. Thread dot sleep for 2 seconds. Right. So this thread will be sleep for 2 seconds again, and after 2 seconds it will print 1. Right. It will again increment the value. What is the new value? 2. Again it will come thread dot sleep. Right. Thread dot sleep means after 2 seconds it will print 2. Like that it will print. Right. Where we saw that, like this concept in real life, if I ask you, where we saw this concept, like after 2 seconds or after 1 second, it is starting and on and off, on and off. Like that. where we saw this concept in real life.
And we want to execute sequence.
I think LEDs, right? LED. In Diwali, if you is that applied, no blinking light that stop and start like that it will work, no. So there we will use this concept, that is the thread dot sleep. Okay? It is working like that, no. See, if I run this one, it is working like that. See, first it will start, then it will stop again, right? It will start and it will stop again, like that it will work, like the blinking light it will work, right? Suppose now this is okay. If I write here the minus value, what will be the output? Exception or print? How many for the exception and how many for the printing it will print? Run this one, it is printing the exception, right? Illegal argument exception means we can't give here the negative values. Okay, after that here, suppose have another method also, that is the public static void sleep long millisecond, and the this n means the nanosecond. Okay, nanosecond, and this one is our millisecond. Suppose if I come here and here I have to write the millisecond. Suppose this time I am writing 4 times. If I run this one, it will run. It is running, right? Now if I write here again 2 times, how much time I have wrote here? 6 times, right? 6 times 9 I have wrote. If I run this one now, it is running again. Right? If I write again 1 time, this time 7 times, right? It is giving exception. So which exception it is giving? Illegal argument exception. And on which line it is giving? That is in nanosecond timeout value out of range. Means how much time we can use this value here? That is the 6 times. 6 times 9 we can use, right? Here. Otherwise it will give the exception. Exception it will give, right? So here is the thing. After that, if I not use here the try and catch, if I not use try here also and here also. Now if I run this one means it will again throw the interrupted exception. Okay. This is the sleep method. If you want to stop the execution of the thread for particular amount of time, that time we will use the sleep method. And this thing also, the sleep method which have one parameter, that is the native method. Okay, the sleep method which have one parameter, that is the native method, and another sleep method which have the parameter, that is the normal method. That is not the native method. See here, this any native keyword is there? No, right? So first one is our native method, but another one is not a native method. This one is our normal method. Means its implementation written in the another language, right? And its implementation is written in the same language, in the Java only, right? And with this, we can access the sleep method with the help of thread class. Why? We can access the sleep method with the help of thread class. Why? Static, right? Both the methods are the static, that's why we can use with the class name directly, right? After that, if you come here, sleep method important, right? Okay, if value of millisecond is negative, then it will show illegal argument exception. If the value of nanosecond is not range from the 0 to 6 times 9, then it will throw the illegal argument exception again, right? Whenever we want to use the sleep method, we also need to handle the interrupted exception. If you not handle that, what it will do? It will throw the exception, means compilation error it will throw. Okay, after that, when any thread is sleeping and if another thread will interrupt it, then it will throw the interrupted exception. We will see these methods, that is we have methods to interrupt the thread, that is the interrupted is interrupted. That time we will see how this thread will be interrupt to the sleeping thread. Okay, that time we will see this thread. Now when we use sleep method, what I will explain you later. Okay, suppose we are this much people in that room and we have an exam. Suppose we have a one pen only and everyone want to write the exam. Okay, we can arrange in one row, like this one will be goes first, after that another person will go. Okay, suppose Vasu goes first and it is writing the exam. Okay, The people in the when he is writing the exam, he has some work. Okay, and he went for the work. So we are transferring that pen to the another person. So when he came back again, so can we assign that assign the pen to him only? Can we assign the pen him only, or we can assign the pen to another person? We will not give you the guarantee, no, right? If you are leaving the pen, so another time if you come, so you will get the pen that time only, right? You can, if all the people will write the exam, if all the people complete the exam, that time also you will get the pen, right? After 4 5 people complete the exam, that time also you will get the pen. Same like that. If I want to execute the thread, where thread will be execute? Where thread will be execute? In the processor, right? Where thread will be execute? In the processor. So when thread scheduler allocate the processor to the thread, that time only our thread will be executed, right? If suppose there are two threads, okay, suppose see inside the paint we can suppose if you can, suppose we have a two thread, this one is one thread and this one is our another thread. Okay, now these have the CPU, this have the processor now. Okay, now this thread have the processor, this is executing the task. After that, this thread is waiting for the sleep. Okay, this thread will be waiting for the sleep. So what GVM will do? GVM will allocate the processor to the another thread, right? Allocate GVM allocate the processor to this thread. Now this thread is executing. If this thread come now, okay, if this thread come now, can it will give the guarantee this thread will be execute this time, or this thread will be get the processor this time? No, right? There will no guarantee. If this thread is goes to the sleep state, there is no guarantee when it will get the processor again. Okay, then there is a no guarantee that when this thread will be get the processor again. Okay, when it will goes to the sleep state. Okay, so this thing is wrote here. When we use the sleep method to pause execution of the thread scheduler assigns CPU to the other thread. Okay, if any thread is exist, so there is no guarantee that the thread wakes up exactly after the time specified in the sleep method. It totally depends on the thread scheduler. Okay, this totally depends on the thread scheduler when it will give the processor to that thread. Okay, so while the thread is sleeping, it does not lose any lock or the pointer that is acquired given. This we will see when we learn the synchronization. Okay, this is the concept of the synchronization. That time we will see the concept. Okay, so this is about all about the sleep method. Anyone have any doubt till here inside the sleep method? Anyone have any doubt? Otherwise, we will try to create one another thread here. I will write here 1 second. Okay, I'm writing here 1 second only. This giving the error. Why this giving the error? Try catch we have tried, right? So here I have wrote try and catch. 1 second I have given here. If I create another thread, okay, object one. Okay, there is object one, and suppose I'm giving here the name. How to get the name? Thread dot get name. Right, we got the name. If I run this one, see here thread one, then thread 0, thread one. Means we cannot assume the execution of the thread, right? If I run this one again, thread is working first. We can't assume, right? That thread 0, then thread 1, thread 0, thread 1, right? After that, here, thread 1, thread 0, thread 0, then thread 1. Like that, it will work, right? We cannot assume the execution of the thread. Okay. So if you perform two threads, it is also means first thread will be go, then it will goes for the sleeping state. It is working like that. Sleep. Why we use the sleep method? If we want to stop the execution of the thread for particular amount of time, that time we will use the thread dot sleep method. And here inside the parameter, what we will provide? Time. Time in the millisecond. 1000 millisecond means 1 second. So it will be sleep for the 1 second. 1 second, right? Here our thread is sleeping for the 1 second. So this is all about the sleep, that is the thread dot sleep method. And remember that thing, the thread method which have one parameter, that is the native method, and the thread method which have the two parameters, that is the static method. And both the methods are the static method. Both the methods are the static method. We can use it by the class name. Directly we can use it with the class name. Okay, so this is all about the sleep method. Now we will see the another method. That is the yield method. Yield method. Yield method is also easy. Okay, it's very easy. All means very easy. So we stop the current executing thread and give chance to the another thread for the execution. That is the use of the yield method. We will see by the real time example. If this is a mall, we all went in the mall, right? Suppose there is the billing counter. Two-person are waiting for the billing. This one is first person P1 and another person is P2. Person P1 have the lots of things. But, person 2 have only one thing, right? So what they will decide? This person, the person 1 will tell to the person 2, right? The person 1 will be tell to, means how much time person 1 will be take for the billing. Yes, P1 will take more time than the P2. I think P1 will take 10 to 15 minutes, right? But P2, I think take approximately 5 seconds. 5 seconds it will take, right? So what P1 will do, tell to the P2 like, I will stop this sometime. You can build it first, right? You can build it first. This is the use of the yield method. What it will do, if the first thread will taking time, so what it will do, it will indicate to JVM. It will provide hint to the JVM. I can stop it for some time. You can give chance to the other time, right? If we can stop, I can stop it for the some amount of time. You can give chance to the another thread. And for that, Java inside the Java there are means in the yield method is using the sleep method. In the Java 5, it is using the sleep method internally. But after Java 6, what they did, it provides hint to the thread scheduler. Okay, it provides hints to the thread scheduler. Then it depends on the thread scheduler to accept it or ignore it. Suppose this P1 and P2 thread is there. So what P1 thread will do? He want to stop. He will provide the hint to the thread scheduler that I can able to stop. If you are accepting that, I can stop. Right. So it will provide hint to the thread scheduler first. If you can if you can accept, then I can stop. You can give chance to the another thread. If thread scheduler accept that, this thread will be stopped and this thread will be executed. If thread scheduler ignores that hint, means P1 will execute and then P2 will execute. Means P2 have to wait for that time. Right. So suppose for that we have a method, that is the public static void and the yield method. So how we will use that? Simply we will come here and result may be vary. Okay. There is no guarantee this yield method will perform or not because it is not supported by the Windows. Okay. Sometimes you will get the result and sometimes you will not get the results. Okay. It is totally depend on the thread scheduler. If thread scheduler accept it, we can get the result. If thread scheduler not accept it, we can get the result. Okay. Simply we will come here. How to perform? Simply you can remove this one. This system.out. Simply will write it for loop only inside there. System.out. Simply I will print the name here. Okay, thread name. There is thread dot current thread dot. Okay, here it will print the name. After that, here also we will add one for loop. Simply I am copying this and here I am pasting. Okay, here also we have wrote the for loop. Here also we wrote the one for loop. Okay, so if I run this one, what will be the output now? Which for loop will be executed first? This one or this one? This one. We will run this. We will get the name, no? Main is main, then thread 0, right? If I run this again, this time it is executing with accepting all things. Why we are getting lost? So sorry. This time see, both the threads are executing at the same time. First main, then thread 0, and then main. Means we cannot assume the execution of the thread, right? Here, if I run this again, it will change. Means it is not fixed, right? It is not fixed. Sometimes thread 0 will be work, sometimes main will be work. See here. So for that, what we will do, simply we will write here object dot field. Means what it will do here, which thread is working here? Main thread. Then main thread will execute first this line, it will create a thread, right? After that, object dot start, it will start the thread. It will come here object dot yield, right? It will provide hint to the thread scheduler, right? Means which thread will be provide hint to the thread scheduler? Main thread, right? Main thread will provide hint to the thread scheduler. I can stop for the sometime. I can able to stop for the sometime if thread scheduler accept that hint. Which will be print? This one will be print, right? If thread scheduler accept that, this will be print. If thread scheduler means ignore that hint, means whatever means result we are getting, that we are getting, right? Suppose if I run this one now, see, why we are getting like that? Because thread scheduler ignores the hint. If I run this again, this time thread scheduler accept the hint. Thread 0 first is working, after that main is working, right? Now if I want that this object dot yield, suppose I want to stop the execution of this thread 0, and I want that first main thread will be work, after that thread 0 will be work. So here what we will do, simply we will write the yield method. So thread dot yield simply we will write, right? Yield method we will write because this is a static method. So simply if I run this one, now what will be the output we will get? Main thread, right? If I run this one, first is main thread is working, after that thread 0 is working. Now thread, main thread will come here, it will create an object. After that object dot start means it is starting the thread, right? Which thread it is starting here? Thread 0 it is starting, right? After that thread 0 which task it will perform? This task, right? Thread 0 it will, this task it will perform. And thread dot yield means what it will do, it will provide hint to the thread scheduler. It will provide hint to the thread scheduler that I can stop for this sometime. You can provide a processor to the another thread, right? So it will allocate the processor to the main thread. It will execute first this thing, it will execute, and after that when it complete its task, then this will be execute. Then this one is thread 0 will start its task again, right? If I run this again also, so same we are getting. If I run this again and again, so this time thread scheduler accepting, right? If I run again and again, this time the result is not varying, right? Result is coming same as, if you want like that, no, same result we are getting, means thread scheduler accept the hint, right? Sometimes it will ignore also, sometimes it will accept, right? So what is the use of the yield method? Stop the execution of the current thread, give the chance to the another thread. That is the use of the thread dot yield method. What is the use of the sleep method?
Stop the execution from the amount
Stop the execution of the current thread for the particular amount of time. And there are two methods inside the sleep method. Which are they? Native and the sleep. Both are the static, but one first is native and another one is the normal method, which implementation is written in the Java, right? And the which is the native method and which is not the native method? The sleep. Two parameter means native or normal method, and the native method which is the which have the one parameter, right? So this is sleep and the yield method. Now we have another method here, it is the join method. This is very simple. Okay, this is the join method. When the join method is invoked, the current thread stop its execution and thread goes into the wait state. Okay, the current thread remains in the wait state until the thread on which the join method is invoked achieve its wait state. We will see one real time example. Okay, so here, suppose we wait for the license. There are three counters: first counter, second counter, and this one is our third counter. Okay, the first counter means our for the suppose for the medical. Okay, suppose for the medical, this is one our first counter. Another counter we have for the driving. Okay, driving test will be means we are taking driving test here. After that, here we have a officer which can sign our license. Okay, we have a three step here. If this stage will complete, then we can come into the driving state. When driving state will be complete, then we will come to the officer state. Means we want like that, no? So if I come this means if all these step execute at the same time, it is possible. Medical and driving and officer will sign at the same time, no, right? No, it is not possible. We will take here one, we will try to create this example by job. Okay, here I have created one. Okay, I will remove this all. Okay, first what we need to do, simply I will create one class. You see, which is the first counter? Medical. What is the second counter? Driving. Simply I will write here driving. That what is the third counter? This. Okay. So what we will do? We will create a thread for all the three classes. So how we will create? Extends extends thread. Okay. Extend thread stuff. After that, what we need to provide? Overridden run method means thread task we will provide public void and the run. Inside that, what we will write simply system dot out and medical start. Okay, immediately start we will write. And after that, simply what we will do, we will stop the execution for some time. Which method we will use? Sleep. Means thread dot sleep. And here we will write the means 2 second I am writing. In 2 seconds it is completing the medical. Okay. After that, system it is giving the error. We need to handle that. Okay. Simply I wrote here. After that, we will write this one also inside. And inside that, what we will write? After thread dot sleep will over, simply we write system dot out. No, we will not write. If any interrupt exception will occur, it will not execute. Simply we will write after the catch. System dot out. Medical is completed. Okay, means medical will start. After that, thread will be stopped for the 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
It will stop for the 2 seconds. Then after 2 seconds, it will print this statement. That is it. Medical is completed. Same like that we will do in here also. What we need to do first? We have to create a thread. Okay. After that, public void run method. Inside that, what we will do? System dot out will write here driving started. Okay. After that, we will sleep means we will stop the execution of the thread for some time. Simply, I am writing here thread dot sleep, and for 3 seconds we will write here. Okay, and we will handle the exception. And here after that, after 3 seconds, it will print driving is completed. Driving is completed. Okay, done. Now driving is done. Medical is done. Now officer extends extend thread here. After that, we have to write here the run method. That is the public. Okay. Here also we will write same thing system dot out officer is taking. checking the file. Okay, simply I'm writing like that. You can write anything, no worries. Officer is checking the file. After that, we will stop the execution of the thread for some time. Thread dot sleep. This time we'll stop for the 2 seconds and we will handle the exception. Simply we will write here system dot out officer side. Simply we will write. Okay. Now this thing is done. Right? Medical class is done. Driving class is done. And officer class is done. Now what we have to do? We have to start the thread also, right? Here we will write one another class license. Okay, simply I'm writing class license and inside that I'm writing main method. You can write in any other any class also. I'm writing in another class. Okay, so here simply okay. Now if I want to call this thread, how we will call?
Creating objects.
Creating an object first. So which class first? That is the medical. Okay. We will assign into the medical. Now what we need to do? Object is created. We have to start the thread. Medical dot start. Okay. After that, another which thread we have? Driving. So simply we will write new driving. Okay, driving, and here driving dot start. Another thread we have new officer dot start. Okay. Done. Now it is done, right? It means medical, driving, and the officer. We started 8 threads here, right? First thread is the this one is the medical. Another thread we have that is the and another thread we have the officer. Thread will be give the default name for this thread, right? This is the thread 0, thread 1, and the thread 2, right? If I run this one, what will be the output we will get? See here, what will be the output we will get? See my main method. Yes, all the threads will be run at the same time. If I run this one, medical started, driving started, officer is checking the file. Like that, we don't want, no. Medical is also started, driving is also started, officer is checking the file also, right? We don't want like that. First, medical will complete, after that, drive will complete, and after that, officer will check the file. We want like that. For that, what we will do, we will stop the execution for the thread another thread. If this thread will be complete the task, another thread will be executed. We want like that, no? So if I run this now, what is happening? All these threads are working at the same time. We want like that. First, this thread will work. Another thread is in the waiting state. If this thread is working, another thread is in the waiting state. And when another thread will be work, when this thread will complete its task. Okay. When this thread will complete its task, then another thread will be work. When this thread will complete its task, then another thread will be work. Like that we want, right? Simply what we will do here, we will write driving. We want to stop this thread, right? So simply we will write here driving. Oh, sorry. Simply medical we want to run. After medical we want to run medical. Which method we are using? That is the join. Okay. After this complete, then medical will join. Okay. If we are writing here join means when this method will complete this task, then all the means when this thread is executing, all this thread means whatever threads we have, that is in the waiting state. Okay. If this thread we are performing join method here, another thread will be in the waiting state, right? Suppose if I am performing here officer dot join, sorry, driving dot join. Okay. Now here it will come and it will stop. When this will be complete, then another thread will be start. Okay. So it is giving the error. Why? here interrupted exception. We have to handle that, right? So we will come here and we will write, or we can throw. Otherwise, we can try. Also, I'm writing try and catch. Okay, I'm writing try and catch. Now it is error is gone. Now what will be the output?
Yes.
Here I think. What will be the output? First, medical will execute, right? Medical is started, and it will wait for the 2 seconds. After that, medical is completed. It will print. Here, it will come again here. What is the another thread? Driving. It will come here. It will print driving is started. It will wait for the 3 seconds. And it will print driving is completed. Again, it will come here. What is the last thread? It will come here inside the officer. Officer is checking the file. It will wait for the 2 seconds and it will print officer is signed. Right? Suppose if I run this one, see, medical is started, medical is completed, driving is started. Right? After that, driving is completed, officer is checking the file, officer signed. Now we want like that, same thing, right? So if I ask you here, which thread is stopping and which thread is working here? Here, see, medical is joined. See by the way, which thread is working here? Which thread is executing all the tasks? Main thread, right? Main thread is executing all the tasks here. So main thread will come here first, right? Main thread will come here first. Medical, new medical. It will create a. It will create an object and means it will create a new thread here. It will create a new thread here. After that, medical dot start means it will start the thread. It will come here, right? Medical is started, then it will stop for this amount of time, means all the thread will be executed at the same time. But when main thread will wait, means come to this, that is the medical dot join. So what it will do, it will wait for completion of this thread, it will wait for completion of this thread. If this thread will complete the task, then it will come to the driving. That is the use of the join method. It will wait for the current thread. It will the current thread stop its execution, the thread goes into the wait state, right? When we perform the join method, means what is the, which is the current thread here? Here which thread is working? Main thread. No, the medical dot join means it will stop its execution, it will goes to the wait state. When this thread will comes, means when this thread will be completed execution, then main thread will be again start execution, right? Here means after this medical will complete, it will again start and it will create a thread of the driving. Then again it will start the driving dot start means it will start the driving run method, right? It will start. It will see again driving dot join means main thread is stopped here. Again main thread is stopping here. It will see means when this thread is completed its task, then it will start again and this one officer will be executed. If I run again, we will get the same result. Medical is started, then see like that it is working, right? This is the use of our join. This is the use of our join, means it is when it saw the join method, it is stop the execution of current thread, and what it will do, when another thread will be completed task, then it will start its execution. That is the use of our join method. Okay, so we saw three methods here: the sleep, yield, and the join. So what is the use of join? It will stop the current thread execution. If another thread will start its execution, if another thread complete its execution, then it will start the execute again. Okay? Here, current thread will remain in the wait state until the thread on which the join method is invoked had achieved its date state. When thread will be goes to the date state? After completion of the thread task. After completion of the thread task, the thread will become to the date state, right? After another thread will come to the date state, then this current thread will be executed, right? This is the use of our join method. Anyone have any doubt here in these three methods? Anyone have any doubt? I can explain again. No, join method or any yield method. Remember this example only. See, inside yield method, which example we did? That is the billing counter. First person have lots of things and person two have only one thing. So what it will do, this person one will be give task to the person two. If we talk about the thread, what thread will we do? Thread will be indicate to the thread scheduler. It will provide hint to the thread scheduler that I can stop for the sometime. If you can accept, I can stop. Right? If thread ignores that hint, what it will do? Person one will be execute, then person two will be execute like that. Right? If thread accept that, what it will happen? Person two will be execute, then person one will be execute. In sleep method, why we use sleep method? To stop the execution of the some amount of time. Right? In example, blinking lights. Blinking lights, right? Here we will use the state dot sleep. Here, if we talk about the yield method, which join method, which example we will remember? License, right? License, or we can create the another example also. That is your assignment today. Right? You have to create the another assignment for the join thread. Okay? Here we have completed the sleep, join, and the yield method. Now the interrupt method. Okay, this is very simple. Suppose we have a thread like that. We will come into the test. After that, we are not means given a sleep now. So whenever this complete, then again, then it is started. Means immediately it is starting. We are not given any sleep time no, after that. Yes. If you given the sleep time, it will start after. Okay. Here we come and then it test will come. Suppose this thread is working here. Okay. Finally it is working. Now I want to interrupt this thread. This thread is I want to interrupt this thread. What we will do? Simply we will use the interrupt method. For that only we will use the interrupt method. It is used to interrupt an executing state. But there is one means there is one twist or there is one property. Interrupt method will only work when the thread is in the sleeping or the waiting state. If you want to perform the means if you want to interrupt any thread, that thread must have in the sleeping method at the waiting state. So here if we come here, so this thread is in sleeping or the waiting state. See this is this thread waiting state it is. So we'll remove this. We will try to sleep this method. Thread dot sleep. Simply we will write and here we will write 1000. Okay. Now this thread is in the sleeping state, right? It will come and it will sleep for the 1 second. Now if I want to interrupt that thread, how we can interrupt? Simply we have to write here object dot interrupt. Okay. Now if I run this one, what will be the output? See, if the thread is not sleeping or the waiting state, then calling an interrupt method will be perform normal behavior. Okay? But when we use interrupt method, it throws an exception. That is the interrupted exception. Here we follows all the rules like that is the our thread is in sleeping state also, and we perform the object dot interrupt method also. So what result we will get exception, right? Interrupted exception we have to get. So if I run this one, see which output we are getting. Interrupted exception also we are getting, but it is printing the values also. See, interrupted exception we are getting, and after that is printing the values. Simply will come print dot sleep. Here we will remain thread is interrupted here, right? Our thread is interrupted. Thread means here our thread is started execution. I think it will start. Wait a minute. Now it will not, right? If I run this one, see it is throwing the interrupted exception. After exception also it is executing. Sleep is interrupted.
After sleep method,
object dot thread dot. We'll try to do that also. Because we have to provide here only. I think it will thread dot current thread dot
Interrupted.
interrupt. Now if I run this one, we are getting it stopped here.
Sleep method.
You let try here and catch. Okay, that alright. Now it is not printing. Right? Now it is not printing. Why it is printing? Because we are handling the exception here, no? So there our program is not abnormally terminating. That's why it is working. Okay. So I will push this. Okay. So here, what is happening? If you want to perform interrupt a thread, what we will do? We will perform the interrupt method, right? We will add the interrupt method because this thread is working finally. Yeah? This thread is working now. Thread 0. This one is our thread 0, right? This is executing here. In this thread, it is executing. If I want to interrupt that thread, what we need to do? We have to perform the object dot interrupt method. But when it will be execute this method, object dot interrupt method, when it will execute? When the thread is in the sleeping state or the waiting state, that time only it will execute. Right? Suppose I have removed this one, thread dot sleep. Now if I run this one, our thread will be interrupt or not? Not interrupt, right? It is catch is not. It's a catch. If we don't have any interrupt, it's exception. It is giving an sorry. It don't have any interruption. I mean, exception. That's why it is giving the error. Okay. So if I remove this one from here, I remove try catch also. I am removing try. Now it is work. It will work or not?
Not work. It will not work.
Interrupt is not working, right? All these are printing 330 330 is printing. Now if I write sleep method again here, so now it will work. Thread will be interrupt, right? And if our thread is interrupting, that time our output is not printing. That time our output is not printing. So for that only we will use the interrupt method. So if you want to interrupt an executing thread, that time we will use the interrupt method. And simply how we will use? Simply with the thread we will use object dot thread interrupt. Simply we will use object dot interrupt with the thread, right? And after that, if thread is not in the sleeping or the waiting state, then it calling an interrupt method will be performed normal method. If our thread is not in the sleeping or the waiting state, and if you perform the interrupt method, then it will perform only the normal behavior. Okay, so that this is the use of the interrupt method. And after that, we have two another method as the interrupted and is interrupted. These are only simple method. Both the methods check the status. Okay, both the method will be return the whether it is interrupted or not. See, interrupted method is used to check whether a thread is interrupted or not interrupted. Okay, another method we have is interrupted. What it will do? It is used to check whether the thread is not a thread is interrupted or not. Is it will provide a status. If our thread is interrupted, then it will return true. If our thread is not interrupted, it will return false. Both the methods have same work, right? That is the it will return the status. Then what is the difference? If you perform here, object dot interrupt, our thread is interrupted or not here? Interrupted. Similarly, I am writing here thread dot current thread dot is interrupted. Okay. Or it is returning the boolean value, so we have to write inside the system dot out. Okay. Now what will be the output we will get? True. Or the false, right? For on this one, true we are getting, right? If I remove this one, object dot interrupt means
False.
false we are getting, and our means program is executing now. Okay. If I wrote here the object dot interrupt, so what it will do? It will true and it will stop the execution also because our thread is interrupted now. Right. Now we will use the another method, that is the interrupted. Right. We have another method, that is the interrupted. Is interrupted and the interrupted. Simply I am writing here interrupted. And now if I run this one, what will be the output? True. If it will return true, our program will execute or not?
Not executed.
Execute or not execute?
Executed. Executed.
Why? Because our thread is interrupt, no? Why it will be execute? See, it is return the status that our thread will be interrupted or not interrupted. Now see that here our thread is interrupted.
Interrupted.
Thread is interrupted. Say object or interrupt we perform. Our thread is in sleeping also, right? So our thread is interrupted here. So it will perform, means it will execute or not. Thread task is execute or not. Means we will get the 1 2 3 4 like that.
Ah,
No, means we will get this one, that is the thread 0 thread 0 thread 0. How much time? That is full time we will get or not?
yes. I think one time,
No get. How much for the we will get the output?
two times.
No, no. How much people here which are means saying like that we will get the output? And how much there we will not get the output?
Not yet.
Not get output. All for the not get output. No? If I run this one, the thread is interrupted. Thread is interrupted here, but after that only it is printing the output. Why? Because see, that is the difference between two threads, interrupted and the is interrupted. The is interrupted, why it is using? For printing the status, right? Is our thread is interrupted or not? And for the interrupted, what is the use of that one?
And also the output.
Interrupted. Both have the same one, right? Both are printing the status. Our thread is interrupted or not, right? So first thing, that is interrupted, what it will do? It will print the status only. That is true, it will print, and it will stop the execution. Means our thread is interrupted. No, so how it will work, right? And another method we have, that is the interrupted. Yeah, interrupted. So what it will do? First, it will return the status. That is the true. Okay. And after that, what it will do? After printing the statement, it will
Print the output.
it will change the result from true to false. Not from false to true. It will change. It will change from true to false only. Okay. It will change the status from true to false. See here. If I run this method again, we will try with is interrupt. Here is interrupted. Okay. Now we will try to run this one two times. You can clarify it. Here I will print this one two times. This one is interrupted method. So what will result we will get?
False.
Our thread is not interrupted here.
True.
True, true. True, true. We will get two times. True or false?
Exception.
Exception occur, right? Simply if I run this one. True we are getting, and we are getting the exception. And our thread is also not working here, right? After that, we will use the interrupt method. Interrupted. Interrupted. Now what will be the output? Here what we will get?
True.
True. After that here,
False.
if it is changing the result, what it will do? This method means this thread will be consider as our thread is not actually interrupted, right? If it is changing the status, what this thread will be things like that. Our thread is not interrupted, and it will execute all the things which are present here, right? If our thread is execute, our program no need to interrupt, right? If I run this one, see, first we will get true, then false, and our thread will be executed. If you I'm removing this one object dot interrupt now, false, false true or false false, false false, and it will return. It will return means it will print the statement. It will not change from false to true. Okay, it will change from true to false only. Okay, that is the use of our interrupted and the is interrupted method. Now we'll see some theory. Interrupted method clears the interrupted status from true to false. If the thread is interrupted, it will change the status from true to false only, not from the false to true. Okay, remember this thing. Is interrupted method does not clear the interrupted status. Means it will print all the times. Whatever times you can print the status, it will print same as it is. Okay, but if you print the interrupted twice, what it will do? First time it will print true, but another time it will return false. Okay, interrupted method will change the result if we call twice. Okay, this we saw. After is interrupted method will produce the same result if called twice. It is not present. No? It will not print the same result. Sorry. It will print the same result if you call twice, and interrupted method will not print same result if we call twice. Okay, simply here we call no. Here we call two times. That is the interrupted method. So what it will do? True and the false. Right. Interrupt not true. Now true and the false, and we are getting the result. Now if I write here is interrupted, is now true true. Right? Simply now if I write interrupted here, again if I write this one, copy, and again I am writing this one again here. Now what will be the result? True false true or true false false, right? Where am this one? True false false. It will not change from false to true. Again if I print, it will give same result. That is the false one. Right? So that are the method, that is the interrupted, is interrupted and the interrupt method. Why we use interrupt method? If we want to interrupt the current executing thread, we will use the interrupt method. How we can use? What is the condition for that? The thread is in sleeping or the waiting state. Right. Now, what is the use of interrupted method? It will check whether our thread is interrupted or not. But it will change it after printing the status. It will change the status from true to false. Okay. And what is the use of is interrupted? It will save like a interrupted, but it will not change the result. Always it will keep the result like that. True like a false false, it will print. Right? So this is the use of the interrupted, is interrupted, interrupt. Many methods we saw today, right? So these are the methods. Uh, these are the sleep methods, yield method, join. These are not these all the methods: suspend, resume, stop, destroy. These are deprecated methods, okay, that are not used in the Java. These are all the methods we saw together: sleep, yield, join, interrupt, is interrupt. Interrupt is interrupted and the interrupted. These are easy only, right? So now you have to do the practice on that. Whatever program we did now, you have to practice on that, and after half an hour, you can take the seminar. Okay, on yesterday's topic we will take. And if you are giving the assignment, the first assignment, no, I have given the license that you can solve here only. Okay, same like that you can create another example, not the license. Okay, okay guys, you can do see your work now.